Hello and welcome to Early Late Nights, the show that is as good as adaptation as PlayerUnknown was at adapting to Fortnite. And I have the stutters tonight, but that's okay. It's fine. I'm your host, Ciaran Marchant. Tonight on Early Late Nights, we'll be discussing a couple different articles. One about the Swatter that's finally getting what they deserve. We'll be looking at the eSports wrap-up for the week, going to Overwatch League, as well as the fighting tournament Combo Breaker 2018. That happened with a couple great moments that I want to pick up on, as well as going into the PlayerUnknown Battleground dev that apologised for some of the downfall of that game, as well as in the tidbit of the show. Be looking at the recent kind of outrage that the internet right deservedly has about the potential game active shooters, as well as at the end of the show trying something a bit new with our 60 seconds of madness. But let's not go too far. Let's not push ourselves beyond where we can go. Let's jump right into the first story. So swatting, if you don't know, is a terrible prank that happens now on the internet quite regularly. So especially for Twitch streamers, people who are very regularly live on the internet, there is a series of things where somebody goes and calls the police and tells a lie about a person's home, so that while somebody's streaming, a police group or unit busts into the house and kind of causes quite a ruckus, disrupts the stream, probably very distresses the streamer quite a lot. It's quite ridiculous. It's quite ridiculous. And so this week, a serial swatter. It sounds way too cool to be such a... I wish... We're going to call it something else. I'm going to call it a repeat swatnado. Repeat swatnado. By the name of Tyler Barris has finally been indicted of a SWAT call that him and two friends made quite recently, as well as during the FCC making the vote in America on net neutrality. He caused a fake bomb hoax, as well as I believe at the CIA headquarters in America as well. So finally, he has been tracked down. He's been caught. He has been a repeat offender in this one. He's constantly swatting streamers. He is not only swatting streamers, but swatting other people as well. The major offense is actually one of his attempts at swatting for a practical joke was quickly turned into a murder case when the person that answered the door looked like they were grabbing a weapon from their waistband, and a policeman shot him. The policeman was acquitted of this murder because of the circumstances around the actual incident, which sucks. It doesn't suck that he didn't, get any punishment, but at the same time, it sucks that a life has to have been lost through this incident. And so Tyler Barris was taken to court over specifically that matter, and was charged with involuntary manslaughter. Swatting. No. Involuntary manslaughter, as well as being traced back to the fake bomb hoax on the FCC. And you'd think something like this would change a person. You'd think that they would probably amend their ways because of it. But instantly, while he was in police custody, tweeted out threatening to swat more people and to cause more problems. And then called himself an e-god. An e-god. For fuck's sake, people. What the actual fuck? The fact that swatting is a thing is ridiculous in today's day and age. Fucking hate it. I hate it. Recently, a Overwatch streamer, XQC, was swatted. People get swatted pretty much every couple of days on Twitch, it seems like. And it's something that's really ridiculous. That is just so stupid and such a waste of police time. Is today's environment, especially for swatting people in America, it is a very dangerous thing to do. With the way America currently is, with the way their police forces are handling armed weapons, people are gonna die more often than not. People are gonna be seriously injured because of these swattings, and fuck, it scares the life out of them. I don't understand why people get a kick out of it. Of course, people seem to get a kick out of, putting somebody through such a stressful event. But for fuck's sake, stop. people like it's one of the things I don't get about the internet is why people are so terrible. And I wanted to take this time to point out this story. The three guys, the two other people with Tyler, came through and they tried to cover up their tracks after the swatting event. After the swatting was supposed to be where one of the friends was supposed to call the SWAT or the police about Tyler, but instead of going to Tyler's current address, they went to his old address, which was currently being rented out by somebody else, which is fucking ridiculous. That is stupid. It's what, as Nick's just said, is it's anonymity. Oh God, why did I pronounce that word? It's because people on the internet don't have to show their face, or that until like a lot of the times people don't get the consequences for these prank calls, which they definitely should, 100% should, and the police should have the ability to track these people down, but. If you ever want to prank a streamer or prank your friend, don't do it in a way that the police are going to be involved, ever. Don't, the time that could be spent on that swatting, that investigation, could be used to solve an actual crime, to prevent an actual crime, to save somebody's life. For fuck's sakes, don't, just stop doing it. I don't want to waste any more time on this shit, because fuck that noise. So, esports wrap up. Esports had a great weekend, especially in the fighting genre for this week, as Combo Breaker 2018 is happening right now, still happening with many games still ongoing. But one of the games I wanted to definitely bring up was Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which I think is a really weird freaking name, and I hate that the Dragon Ball Z isn't as follows. That's what the anime is. It's Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which I really enjoy. I've actually been playing this game on and off with some friends lately. It is a really well-balanced fighter based on the teams of 3 characters and how they line up. I'm really happy with how Combo Breaker has come out with Dragon Ball Z. So the grand finals of the Combo Breaker 2018 Dragon Ball Z segment was actually fought between Sonic Fox and Go One. And this is a rivalry that's been growing over the last couple of events between these two, with Sonic Fox always coming a little bit short. But this event saw Sonic Fox really improve and had shown that he developed himself as a competitor since the earlier fights with Go On, especially with the way he's changed up his roster. So in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, you get to pick a roster of 3 characters, and they all interact differently. They change up, as with a lot of other fighters, but this was very prevalent in Sonic Fox's loadout because he chose Gotenks, which had replaced the adult Gohan that he was running a lot. So it changed up. So these two met twice, and Sonic Fox had not beaten Go One before, I believe. So they met twice in the winners finals as well as the grand finals, and Sonic Fox took it twice, especially in the first lot of games within the winners finals, being quite out of nowhere for Sonic Fox's draft and his setup to be completely different to what Go On was used to, and then Go On to brawl his way up through the losers, because it was double elimination, to brawl his way up through the losers elimination finals and to get back to the grand finals where the two faced off again. Both showed great signs of adaptation. They both showed changes in their skill and understanding of how each player was forming, but in the end Sonic Fox managed to win out, which was a fantastic show of skill. It was a great moment in the fighting, or even in the esports community in general, because Sonic Fox was a bit of the underdog, underdog when it came to things like that. So it's great to see him get a win. I can't wait to see what he does more as the fighting tournaments continue, especially for Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which is a fantastic game. If you haven't picked it up already, go check it out. It's a fantastic game. And it's really good to see adaptation. I want to talk a bit more about adaptation in a point later on. But moving right along to Overwatch League. And if you've watched Early Late Nights before, if you know me as a person or watch any of our content, I love Overwatch, and I love Overwatch League, so of course I'm a little biased when I talk about it, but Overwatch League is in a fantastic point right now in Stage 4. The meta continues to grow with the additions of Brigitte and changes to different characters that have led to a very different meta now, and the meta is suiting some teams and fucking terrible for other teams. Customly, God damn it, can I talk? I don't know if I can talk, people, but I can. Currently, the Boston Uprising, who went 10-0 in the stage 3 games, have been terrible. They have not adapted whatsoever to the current meta. There's some teams, it's interesting to see some teams have gone through and not changed their style at all, or not accepted Brigida into the lineups. They haven't really changed how the game is played out. It's quite interesting and fantastic to see how it's happening, and one of the best stories out of this is the Dallas Fuel. So the Dallas Fuel have had the roughest Overwatch Season 1. Oh, well, there's only one rougher in my opinion, which is freaking Shanghai Dragons, but Shanghai Dragons are so happy, where Dallas Fuel was so down in the dumps all the time. They had poor effect. There's a famous replay quote of him that just sounds broken. He just sounds so broken and let down, and it's great to see this team come back. Effect is still in career at the moment. He's not playing, but the rest of the team have really got around. I'm really surprised by Mickey, who's was previously the diva main for their group, has now picked up Brigida, and I'm not the biggest Mickey fan. I shit talk Mickey so much because he's one of the worst divas in the league. But his Brigida is fantastic. The amount of game impact he has on that character, the time he takes to build up the actual ulti compared to others is fantastically quick. He's showing something about this meta that needs to be accepted by more players. Every other group currently, or every other team currently, are really using about 26% of the time are using Brigida, where Dallas Fuel is sitting somewhere about 78%, which is fucking light years above it. So to see Mickey fit into that slot, and to see Dallas Fuel play so hard, they've won every game so far this stage, and they're at such a fantastic moment for them. They've got no chance of making playoffs, so it's not about the playoffs. They're just playing for pride right now. So it's fantastic to see the team come together. It's been rough watching them. It's been really rough watching them previously. So to watch them continue to grow, to watch them really form around Mickey's new playstyle has been fantastic to see. As well as back to Combo Breaker. In the Tekken finals for Tekken 7. They had another game that was quite fantastic between Cuddlecore and Lou. And this game showed so much, because these two had faced off previously. This wasn't the finals though. This was in an elimination game. Sorry, I correct myself. It was in an elimination game where everybody kind of had Lou to win, because he'd already faced off against Jack 7, who was the primary character of Cuddlecore. He'd already know how to fight it, and he went to the first game, and Lou just wiped the floor with him and destroyed him. And it was interesting to see that by game 2, Cuddlecore had adapted to the method of playstyle of Lou and managed to bring the game around. There was a lot of adaptation throughout the game that really changed the way that the game's played out. And that makes me really happy. It makes me really happy to see adaptation in esports, because it's such a fantastic thing. Alongside with meta, they're two of my favorite parts of the games, or as the umbrella of esports as a whole, because they're on a digital platform, games can be changed and updated on the fly. So when I talk about a new patch or a new stage, they're generally changing the game in a way, altering characters, damage dealt, or their abilities a little bit, or bringing and changing. And so the meta changes of what heroes are the best heroes to play, what characters are the best ones to main as. And so to show this adaptation in a way that is minute, in the same game, in the same matchup, but still being able to change how you play a character is fantastic to see. And it was great to experience in the Tekken 7 tournament at Combo Breaker. It was really enjoyable. I would advise you, if you're a fan of fighters, or if you just enjoy playing fighters or watching other people play them, check out Combo Breaker 2018. It's fantastic. Both the Tekken tournament and the Dragon Ball Fighter Z tournament were both great. I hope that the organizers for Combo Breaker continue to grow and continue to bring other events to us, because they've done a really good job, and it's been really good to see these world-class fighters go up against each other. But enough esports. If you have more esports news that you want me to talk about throughout the week, please tweet at me at your boy Ringo on Twitter. Tell me what esports you want me to talk about. If you've got any stories you want me to look at, send them through. I'll do esports wrap-ups every Tuesday here on twitch.tv/Explosion Network. And for the third topic of the show, it's PUBG. And if you've seen the show before, introduce you to me. Hi, I'm Ciaran, by the way. I really hate Battle Royale games. I absolutely am annoyed with them just because of the amount of news and saturation there is because of Battle Royale games. When I'm trying to correlate articles to talk about for the show, it's really hard to avoid Battle Royale games because they're just everywhere. There's so many stupid articles about Fortnite, about, Radical Heights. Is that game still even going on? Because I know Cliffy B's shit's dead. But, or PlayerUnknown Battleground, or whatever Battle Royale pops up, H1Z1, whatever one pops up. And I try and avoid it. But for this one, I thought this was quite interesting. So recently, PUBG's, a member of the team for PUBG, Memphi Kim, I'm going to say, mentions that the blame for the falling player base is securely on them. And I'm so glad to hear that. Like, I'm so glad to hear that they are there, that they're acknowledging that it's on them. Because PUBG went through this period of time where they were the juggernaut. They were the biggest thing going. They had no real competition. They could do whatever they wanted. And they probably got a little bit relaxed. A little bit, lackadaisical on their updates, on the changes of the game. And so when Fortnite has come out, and Fortnite's come on a platform that is so honest for the game, it's so easy for the developers to change, it seems. Every week there's probably a little tweak or a new update for Fortnite compared to PUBG, which seems to just languish in its bugs forever until it generally fixes them in a massive patch, and then it finds more bugs, and then doesn't fix them for a while. So they've come out and mentioned that, yeah, the player base failing is their fault, that even though they've come out recently with anti-cheating measures and finally managing to balance some of the guns out, it's probably a little bit too late, and they understand that in many ways it's too late. They're still working hard at the game. Fortnite has really shown a better understanding for their players, a better belief in what their players are telling them, happy to change things, to add things, to put in little stupid story modes, to have events. It's ridiculous to see what Fortnite has done compared to PlayerUnknown. Because when Fortnite came out, everybody shit talked that thing. Everybody was just like, oh no, it's no PUBG, it's just copying. And it has made a name for itself. It has found itself in eSports, which is so well done to them, well done to Epic Games. So even though I'm saying this, PUBG's not out of it. They've still got a good player base. Not as good as they were, but they've going to be releasing the biggest content drop that they've ever done before. There's going to be stuff like little three-wheeler, like, tuk-tuk things that people ride, and different game modes, probably new weapons. They've released a new crossbow-only mode. It looks actually kind of interesting. But I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough compared to what Fortnite does. Fortnite is so over the top, so crazy and ridiculous that it just kind of works, and the people are drawn to it. It makes a lot of sense when you look at the gameplay. I really enjoy that game and love every part of it when I'm playing it well with people. No, I'm kidding. I don't love any of the games. I don't love Battle Royale games at all. They frustrate me, people, but that's fine. It's fine because they have a media. They're here to stay. I've got to accept that. But what do you want to see from PUBG? I think there is a chance for PUBG to come back. It has to put a lot of work in, though. It has to show that it's listening to its friends. Its fans. Are its fans its friends? Are you friends with your fans? This is a lot of questions for me. A lot of questions. Anyway. I'm excited to see what PUBG does to answer the criticism. To show that the fact that they've shown that they fucked up is hella respect. Really, respectful. Good on them. But hey, we need to see more from them if people are going to jump back onto that game and move away from Fortnite. Yeah. Well, it's that time. It's that time I rant. I've been looking forward to this rant all day. Since doing the initial write-up for this, I've been waiting to do this because this is my rant of the freaking show. Or, the real term for it is the tidbit of the show, where I talk about a topic. It's going to be from somebody Twitter, something close to my heart. So tweet at me at your boy Ringo. But so if you haven't seen, the internet once again fucking exploded. It explodes every time before this show, I swear. So there's a game in pre-release on Steam called Active Shooter, which is a simulation game that's supposed to be. Apparently, it's only supposed to be for like police and civilians and stuff to practice shootings, but to like practice like how you should react in a shooting or what people should do. But fuck me, it's added a school shooting mode where you're the shooter in a school and you get points for murdering civilians and cops. What? Who thought that was a good idea? Who the bloody hell? I apologize for your microphones in this section. Who thought it was a good idea? So it's only in pre-release, so it's not actually out to be played at the minute. There's only screenshots on Steam, but fuck, the backlash is huge. The backlash is massive, people. There is so much anger from people because it's just... And the worst thing is I see people defending it. Stop! People are like, you have the right to freedom of speech, you have all this bullshit. No, fuck off. Stop promoting something that is entirely bad. Nothing good comes out of that situation of playing that. I understand. I'm the biggest advocate for the R18 rating. I am actually wanting to, like, you know, I want games to be able to accept, or the government to accept, that games are a media that doesn't need to be, you know, controlled or changed, or it's not something like putting a gun in my hand at a game. I don't want to go shoot people in real life, and that's not a normal reaction. It's just a thing that's happening. But, and Nick's saying it's been done before. Has it been done in this way within the recent climate of the world? Because within the current climate of the world, with all these school shootings that are happening in America, it's a little fucked. I understand it's probably trying to capitalize on the political climate, but fuck me, is it a terrible idea. Nobody should enjoy doing that. What's so fun about it? Like playing through a game. Isn't a game supposed to be an experience? It's supposed to be something you enjoy or get something out of? What do you get out of that game? What is good about that game? That people hold on to their guns, they hold on to the right to hold the guns, and then they play shit like this. School shootings never were acceptable. But I'm saying in the current climate where it is at its max, where it's at the point where it's so prevalent in today's society. So prevalent. And I've never seen a game, Nick, and Nick's commenting in stream right now, I've never seen a game that has a school shooting mode. It's happened in No Russian in Call of Duty 4, which had a massive warning for it, was quite talked about, and I didn't have a massive problem with that because it wasn't pointless. Like, it was a fictional moment in history with a part of the story. It had its reasons for happening. It was something you could choose not to do. Where this game, you can choose not to do it by just not buying the game. Sure, that's fine. But there's no point to it. There's no story mode to it. There's no... And I'm not saying you need to add a story to something to make it okay. It's fucking stupid. And this is such a big manhole, and it's a big topic to talk about. But No Russian was done in a way that you didn't have to shoot people. You could still finish the mission without shooting anyone. You could still move through it. It was, you know, you could run through the level looking down. It's not the point of that game. That game is just making, you know, it was just a moment in games. There's been so many moments in movies like that are played out. I'm just frustrated that somebody would make a game that's just a simulation of a school shooting. Why would anybody do that? What's the point of it? And I've already talked on Explosion Network, on all of our products, on Only Late Nights, about how I love games that have a meaning or tell a story or have a purpose. And I don't see the purpose in this other than to make the internet freak the fuck out. So the developers have already come out and said they're probably just going to remove the mode, which is the best thing to do. I don't know why the fuck the mode was in there. It's like, you know, if a game, you know, if we were in the climate where 9/11 happened and somebody made a plane simulator where you could just crash into buildings. What the fuck? Why would you do that? Why would anybody do that? I don't see the point of it. I'm not, you know, I don't... Steam is a weird place because a lot of things on Steam can be put out there. And I saw an interesting quote that was like, you know, Steam, the place where games with a little bit of sex get banned, but games where it allow you to be a mass school shooter can go on ahead. It's like, what the fuck? Just, it's interesting because it's a platform that is, not as controlled as, Xbox or PlayStation, where there's a lot more availability for people to put their games on it. So it's the right of free speech. I don't think the government should get involved. Whatever. The government doesn't need to get involved. Steam just needs to say, nah, it's banned off our platform. Needs to be not put in a public place. If somebody wants to go and find it, fuck it, whatever, go for it. But don't put it in a prominent place. Don't advertise that you have a school shooting mode. Don't put it there. If this is a game that has the negative impact that people that are trying to blame games for gun violence want. It's the whole fucking point. And we shouldn't stand for that. We shouldn't allow that. And that's going to frustrate the shit out of me. What's your thoughts on it? Let me know in chat after the show. Tweet at me at your boy Ringo. What do you think about active shooter? Should it be allowed? Is it a freedom of speech thing that they have the right to put out a game like this? I don't think so. But tell me, debate me, try and persuade me and tell me I'm wrong. I'm probably stubborn enough, but I'll listen. And thank you very much for joining me for Explosion Network's gaming news show every Tuesday and Friday nights, Australian Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/Explosion Network. Just give us a follow if you're here live, just to shout out and to know when the channel goes live. Early Late Nights is just one of the many shows the Explosion Network does. To explore them all, go to explosionnetwork.com, check us out. And if you can't be here live on twitch.tv/Explosion Network, I'm just going to keep saying the URL. Fuck it. If I just keep saying it, somebody might go to it. If you can't make it live, that's fine. The show goes up 24 hours later on youtube.com/Explosion Network, or also on all good podcasting services. So, if you listen to it via podcast, give us a like. Put us, review, 5 stars. Tell me what you think. Show me what you know. And if you're here, leave us a comment. Or if you're on YouTube, comment, subscribe. Smash that like button. Join the Bell Squad so you know when we go live with a new video. Oh, God. Sorry. My inner YouTuber came out for a second. That shouldn't be a thing. So normally on the show, I spend the last 60 seconds of the show, news, whatever, going through 60 seconds of news stories that I've missed or haven't been able a chance to talk about. But tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to give you 60 seconds of my impressions of Detroit Become Human, what I think of it. I'll be playing Detroit straight after the stream, so stick around if you want to check it out and play, and tell me why I'm doing things wrong, because that's what people like doing in those games, I suppose. But I'll be giving my impressions. Tell me if you like the segment, if I should keep doing it with other games. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Let's go. So Detroit Become Human. I'm actually really enjoying this game, probably a bit more than I enjoyed Heavy Rain, a bit more than I enjoyed... I didn't even play Beyond Souls 2, whatever, Beyond Two Souls, or whatever the hell that game was called. I didn't even play that game. I really am enjoying the 3 characters. I like that for once in a game, I'm not playing as myself. I'm playing as making choices as I see those characters would make choices. It's developing the game quite nicely. The story is pretty good. It's okay. I've only played for 4 or 5 hours. The control scheme can be fucking terrible. Stop making me use motion controls, you piece of shit, David Cage. The story is okay. I haven't got through to any weird parts that some people have commented on so far. The control scheme, the movement is bad, but I expect it. It's a playable movie. Why is it 2018? Like, why is it 2018? And why am I still doing fucking button prompt shit? See you later, GG, well played.